Hey everyone, welcome back to Bethany Urban Farm. I'm here in my seed starting room. It's still pretty messy, but I'm getting it sorted, and I wanted to show you a little bit what I have going on. The first thing that I will show you is my Rudbeckia seeds have germinated. Happy birthday, Rudbeckia! So these germinated overnight because I checked them yesterday and there was like one germinated between yesterday and today. And I planted these probably a week ago, and today is February 1st, and they have germinated, and I think I can see, because they're on the surface here, the evening primrose are just about to germinate as well. The tray got a little bit dry because I didn't have it covered, so I'm a tiny bit worried about the seeds that were not covered by cardboard. I had cardboard over the Rudbeckia and the Salvia, Rudbeckia, and evening primrose, because those need to have dark to germinate, so they stayed more moist, but the echinacea and the bergamot dried out. So I just gave those a gentle watering. I gave a little bit of a sprinkle on top, as well as putting some water in the tray, and now I'm going to cover it up and put it back on the grow light shelf. So I have two grow lights installed here. I just stuck my shop lights onto the shelf above the shelf with some foam command strip stuff. This stuff, it's great. I would highly recommend the foam stuff. It's much more firm. I put some lighter stuff on and it fell down, so this stuff seems to be doing the trick. So my cardboard was still letting some light through, so I've placed some tin foil over top. I've just folded a piece of tin foil and put it over top of my echinacea seeds and my evening primrose seeds. My Rudbeckia also need dark to germinate, and actually I'm just noticing that the cappuccino Rudbeckias have not germinated, so I'm also going to add some tin foil here to the cappuccino Rudbeckias, but the straight species Rudbeckias have germinated, so I can leave those exposed to the light. But this is a trick that I'm hoping works well for germinating with different requirements, for seeds that need to be started at the same time but have different requirements, just to save on space. So I guess I will show you just kind of coming in. This is my little garage. It's kind of right adjacent to my front door. It's a nice little spot in this house. Coming in the door, I have this shelf that I've placed some heat mats on, and I've prepared trays with seed starting soil. I actually splurged on this like quite fancy seed starting soil that's locally sourced where I live. And then I have my lids on two of these. So you can see it's kind of a mishmash. Like in this one I have just soil directly in the tray. You just have to be careful with that to not let it get too moist. It's a little bit trickier to water as well, because you can't do bottom watering. But I'm just trying to minimize plastic wherever I can. And this one I have reused cell packs. Same with this one, but this one doesn't have a lid. This one also just has soil in the tray. This one has like a little insert tray, and this one also has a little insert tray. So those are all of the, oh, and then in here I have started some sweet pea root trainers. So I've just used toilet roll tubes and packed some soil in those. I would recommend moistening the soil before you do that, just to make it a little easier. I have another little shelf here with some transplanting pots that I'll probably use for my hot weather stuff when they need to be potted up. So things like peppers, eggplants, and tomatoes will go into one of these little pots after they're done germinating in the seed trays. I have this little corkboard here. I've pinned these two flowers up here because I just bought them and I don't know where I'm going to organize them, but I also don't want to put them away yet because I'm going to be starting them relatively soon. And then if you saw my last video on bullet journaling for the garden, I've actually just ripped out those pieces of my journal and pinned them up onto this board so that whenever I'm looking at starting some seeds, I can just have a quick glance and say, okay, so we're in February now, what do I have to look at starting? Oh, I can see there's a lot of flowers that I need to start. And then, yeah, you can just flip it over and there's my herbs on the back. I have some of my plans as well here, just really, you know, sketched out stuff. But yeah, this is kind of an overview and this is a more detailed plan of everything that I'm starting from seed. I have this little table with a little chair. This is pretty messy. We have like our bikes, some storage. I've actually just decluttered the storage. So this is pretty much all of the storage that we have is these 7 or 8 boxes here. And then these shelves were here when we moved in, and I've just stuck those grow lights on with some foam command like mounting tape. Some lovely gross old drawers that I've just stuck some stuff in here. I have like some twine, my hori hori holder because I never actually use it. A drill, just like random stuff that I always need to hand. I do want to organize this eventually, but for now, this is what we're working with. I have some safers right there. Again, I need to organize this, but pretty much I've just been focusing on getting everything laid out. This is exciting. These are some bulbs. So recently I just went through all of the bulbs that I had dormant. I kept them dry as an experiment. When I moved to Victoria from Vancouver, I potted them up and didn't water them for the rest of the summer and winter. Summer, fall, and winter. And actually they are all doing amazing. The bulbs that I've had before that I've kept dormant when the soil has been moist have all rotted pretty much. So I just really wanted to avoid that. I had them in just the soil that they were growing in when they were flowering. I just kept them in that soil and then didn't water them. There were a couple ornithogalum that desiccated, so that means when they dry out and you can kind of, if you press on them, they'll kind of just collapse. But all the other ones, so my gladiolus, my ixia, and then a few ornithogalums all survived. The three types of poppies that I'm going to be starting today are the black peony poppy, Flemish antique, and purple peony. And I'm going to be sowing them in this row that I've just popped some manure over top of. And kind of, I'm going to do my best to put them in some semblance of a row. But they'll probably be a bit higgledy-piggledy, but I think that'll be okay because they all go pretty beautifully together. I'm just stepping here on the compost just to make sure it's nice and packed down so that the seeds make good contact with the soil. This packet actually has poppy seeds that I collected from my mixed poppies last year, so there's quite a lot in here. But these were a mix of the purple peony, amazing gray, and Pandora poppy, I believe. Just kind of broadcast them. So I'm experimenting with laying down some cardboard on top of the poppy seeds. You can see I haven't covered all the soil, and it'll kind of be a good little test just to see if it helps. It's similar to Jess's trick with putting a board on top of carrot seeds. Poppies like dark to germinate, and because they're so tiny, it just prevents them from getting washed away.